Well, Hanukkah's passed. We're now in the season of Christmas. Our next celebration, that of Kwanzaa. And we're explaining Kwanzaa today on The Bernie Hayes Show. And welcome back. As promised, we'll be talking about the celebration of Kwanzaa. And I'm with Malaika. Malaika, you say your middle name.
Pizzai.
Ferguson. Welcome
Thank
to the show. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. We're going to celebrate or talk about the celebration of Kwanzaa. Is it called a celebration? Is it a holiday? How would you describe Kwanzaa?
I would describe it as a 7-day celebration of an African-centered value system and as well as Black culture.
Okay.
So it lasts for 7 days, December 26th through January 1st. And each day is dedicated to a principle, one of the 7 principles, which is the Nguzo Saba. And it was created by Dr. Malaika and a collective of people in 1966.
Okay. So it starts the day after Christmas, which is 26th of December, and lasts through the 1st of the year.
Yes.
Okay, and the Nguzo Saba is the more or less the Bible of Kwanzaa, right? That Dr. Malaika wrote. Tell us about the Nguzo Saba. What are the 7 principles?
The
and what do they
Nguzo
mean?
Saba, it translates to 7 pillars, and pillars meaning, our foundation of things that hold us up. So the principles are umoja, which is unity, means unity of Black people together. And then the second principle is kujichagulia, which means self-determination. And then there's ujima, which means collective work and responsibility. And then ujama, which is cooperative economics. Nia for purpose, kumba for creativity, and imani for faith.
Wow. And how did you come about learning all that?
Well, it was always celebrated in my house for as long as I can remember. So my mom introduced me to Kwanzaa.
And your mom is?
My mom is Dionne Ferguson.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
So she introduced me to Kwanzaa at a very young age. I mostly grew up celebrating Christmas with my grandparents, which is, as we know, like a Christian holiday.
Sure.
And then my mom taught me about Kwanzaa, which is a non-religious holiday, and it's non-heroic. So there's no sort of Messiah or messenger associated with the holiday, and it's not affiliated with any religion. So really anyone can celebrate Kwanzaa if they want to celebrate Black culture and an African value system. So she taught me the holiday as a way to celebrate my Blackness and my Black culture, and to have a good set of African values to follow and live by.
So Africans and African Americans can celebrate Christmas and Kwanzaa?
Yes.
There's no contradiction?
No.
Okay. Tell us about the what we have here in front of us, the fruits and so forth. And
so there are many parts of building what is called a Kwanzaa table.
Okay.
And this is one aspect of it, and it's called the mazao, and the mazao means the crops or the harvest, and it represents abundance, so abundance in food or wealth, and abundance of love, and abundance of support, just generally an abundance of positive things in your life.
These are the first fruits, right?
Yes.
Okay. And back of us, I see some candles. Could you explain what those are?
Yes. So those are...
What's this called? A candelabra?
Those are the Nguzo Saba, or the Mishima Saba. Mishima Saba translates to 7 candles. So you start with the black candle. The black candle is what umoja is, the very first principle for unity.
Okay.
So you light the black candle in the middle first.
Okay.
And then you light the outside red candle for kujichagulia. And then you light the outside green candle. And then the middle red candle, middle green candle. And then all the way inside red candle, all the way inside green candle. Until on January 1st, you have all 7 of your candles lit.
Well, you've learned well. What does Kwanzaa mean to you and the Afrocentric value system?
Kwanzaa to me is, I think, a good way for me to acknowledge my Black culture in a world that doesn't always want to acknowledge it. And it gives me time to be around people who have the same values as me and the same morals as me and appreciate Blackness as much as I do. And it also lets us know that we do not always have to celebrate these principles just from December 26th to January 1st, and that these are principles that we can live by for year round for our entire lives. There's no bad time to have unity. There's no bad time to have self-determination or any of the principles. So even though it is a holiday that only lasts 7 days, it's also a way of living, which I think is very important.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about you. Are you a student? Do you go to school?
Yes. I'm a senior at Crossroads College Preparatory School. I'll be graduating in May. And I hope to go to college for performing arts, so acting, musical theater, directing, possibly, and writing.
Good. So a little bit about the experience that you've had so far in the performing arts.
Well, I do every show at my school. I've done every main stage show since I came to Crossroads.
Crossroads, okay.
Crossroads in 7th grade. I recently began writing my own scripts, my own one-act plays. I wrote my first one-act play when I was 14, and ever since I've been writing at least 1 to 2 a year, and putting them, and producing them, and directing them, and putting them on at my school. I participated in the St. Louis Black Repertory Summer Performing Arts Program since I was 10. And just this past summer, I was a teaching assistant there instead of a camper.
Ron Hines must be very proud of you.
I hope so.
He is. Go ahead, continue.
In
your future?
In my future, I'm part of the ensemble of Dream Girls at Stray Dog Theater, which will be happening in April 4th through April 20th at Stray Dog Theater. So that's my first real professional show that I'll be doing.
Oh, great. It's a very historic day, April 4th. You know, that's the day that Dr. King was assassinated.
Yes.
So you're going to bring some brightness to that, something beautiful to remember.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. I wish you all success in the world. When did you really realize that you were being taught Afrocentric values, that you were being taught black values, that you were being taught to be a black woman?
It took me a while to realize I was being taught not necessarily how to be black, but a good African-centered value system to look by, because I never thought of it as an African value system. I just thought of it as a value system, and just that this is how everyone should live, or that, oh, this is what everyone is taught. And as I got older and got into different types of environments, I learned that everyone was not taught how I was, and everyone does not have the same value systems that I have. So I realized I was being raised specifically in an African way, in a more humanistic way than a lot of people are taught.
Okay. Are you affiliated with the Organization for Black Struggle or Progressive Emporium Bookstore or any other Afrocentric organizations?
Yes, the Progressive Education Emporium, the bookstore. I volunteer there sometimes. I go to a lot of their events. I buy from there all the time. And that is at 1108 North Sarah. And they have some Kwanzaa events coming up as well. That's
between Page and Finney?
Yes.
1108 North Sarah?
Yes.
And I assume if you walked in there, you see probably Johnson Lancaster or Terry Kennedy, Alderman Terry Kennedy, or Veronica Banks or someone, right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
There. Well, tell us about how Progressive is also challenging you and teaching you.
Well, Progressive, as well as providing food and other things, they also have, books. So I've gotten books from there before, books on spirituality, astrology, poetry. I recently bought the book Kindred by Octavia Butler from them.
Sure.
Because I heard about it and I wanted to get it, and I figured if I was going to get that book, that's where I would want to get it from.
This is great. So how can they reach you or Progressive or get more information about you?
Well,
and Kwanzaa.
And Kwanzaa. So you can reach Progressive Emporium Education Center at 314-875-9277.
It's just a little bit slower.
314-875-9277.
And is there a Facebook page or a website or anything?
Yes, they do have a Facebook page, and that is facebook.com/Progressive Emporium and Education Center.
This is great. So this mentoring and nurturing, does it make you feel good? How does it make you feel? I mean, really, Malaika, how does it empower you?
I think it empowers me, but it also just makes me sure of who I am. So now, even though I'm not surprised by the amount of nurturing and support that I get, this is how I was raised, and this is how I know that I'm sure of myself and who I am as a black female in this world. So it's more of something that really grounds me and lets me know who I am as a person.
This is great. We're going to have your mom come on after this segment here. I want to thank you so much, Malaika. I'm so proud of you, and I know I'm going to be prouder and prouder and prouder and prouder and more proud as the years progress.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm proud of you for being here, too, with us. With 2420 Ferguson. 2428 Woodson Road in Ferguson, Missouri. Overland, Missouri. Boy, this Ferguson name has got me going, right? But anyway, we're 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. You know, we were at 1411 downtown St. Louis, Missouri, 1411 Lucas Street. But Reverend Rice is still trying to reopen the facility downtown, and we want you to come by here, visit with us, because the same programs that we administer down there are still provided here. And in the meantime, if you see this this Bernie Hayes mug here on the table here, along with Harris Stowe State University, Webster University, but this is the Bernie Hayes mug, and this is also a book written by Reverend Larry Rice. It's called Through the Fire, and it says how St. Louis gentrifiers tried to destroy a church because of its homeless congregation. It's a wonderful book and a wonderful mug. Now, let's let Reverend Rice tell you how to get one.
I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas from all the staff of the New Life Evangelistic Center. I'm Larry Rice, and I thank God for all of you that are supporting the Bernie Hayes Show. I'm asking you to please pray at this time and share your special Christmas gift with the New Life Evangelistic Center. It's urgently needed, not only for us to help feed and care for the homeless women and children and veterans that are in need through our various safe houses at this moment, but we're taking major steps of faith to totally get 1411 Locust all fixed up during the daytime so that those that are on the streets can come in all year long. Will you share your very special Christmas gift? And as a way of saying thank you to those that are doing that, if you'll share a gift of $24 or more with this very special mug, that says the Bernie Hayes Show on it, and also the book that I've written that shares with you the trials and tribulations, and yet as how we're moving on to victory right now through reopening 1411 Locust. So we'll send you both of these if you'll send your gift of $24 or more and just request the Bernie Hayes mug and a book Through the Fire. Yes, God is doing a mighty, mighty work. He's opening up doors. We're seeing victories over principalities and powers that want to see the people left out on the street because of their greed. They talk about Scrooges. They don't want those kind of people in the neighborhood, and they don't like the homeless or members of our congregation at 1411 Locust. So I'm asking you to pray for God's victory, God's love, and the spirit of Christmas to touch the hearts of those individuals. They'll stop opposing and start supporting. We can do this as you continue to pray and share with the New Life Evangelistic Center. Remember, your Christmas gift will mean so much at this time. Please send it now to New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, that's 63166. And when you send that gift of $24 or more, be sure you ask for the book and the mug. These are real regular keepsakes that I know you're going to enjoy all year long. Again, I want to say thank you to all of you that have been supporting this work, and may God bless you and grant you a very Merry Christmas.
And welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes, and we're in the middle of a celebration of Kwanzaa. My guest now is the mother of Malaika. This is Dionne Ferguson, and we're going to talk about Kwanzaa again. Dionne, welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a couple of years since you've been here.
It has
been.
been.
Yeah, been that long, yeah, but you're back.
I am.
Kwanzaa, once again, give us an overview of what Kwanzaa is and what it means.
Kwanzaa is a holiday celebration that was created by Dr. Malaika in 1966, along with a collective of other folks. And it is really a celebration of us as Black people. It was a way to honor our ancestors. It's a way to celebrate the Nguzo Saba, which are this African value system that includes 7 principles that we celebrate during Kwanzaa, but we live every day of the year.
Okay. Good. The book that Dr. Karenga wrote can be purchased at Progressive, right? Along with all the other
Yes, and if it's not there at Progressive Emporium and Education Center, we can order what anyone needs.
Okay. But tell us where Progressive's located again.
Progressive Emporium and Education Center is at 1108 North Sarah Street.
That's just south of Page.
Yes.
And right at the corner of Finney almost.
Yes,
almost. Okay, that's Sarah and Finney. That's a famous landmark, isn't it? Dionne, we talked to your daughter, but I want to know how you came into consciousness. How did you become the Afro woman, the terrific woman that you are now today?
You know, I think so. So we talk about the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, and my daughter mentioned she named them.
Sure.
We talk about the first one, which is umoja, which is unity. And I think sometimes because most of us haven't heard those words before, and they're Kiswahili words.
Sure.
Pan-African language, and because we haven't heard those words before, we say, what is that? But we all were taught unity from our parents, our grandparents. You know, they told us, when you all go to school, you stick together now. That's unity. So we know these principles as Black folks. We've lived them. We just don't know these names, and they may have not been fused together in the way that Dr. Malaika Karenga and others have done with the Kwanzaa celebration and Unguza Saba.
Okay, so those have celebrated Hanukkah, those have celebrated Christmas, but now the 26th of December is the first day of Kwanzaa.
Yes.
Okay, is it Kwanzaa or Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa, okay. And what's the importance of us celebrating Kwanzaa? You know, not only African-American people, but people in general, if they want to celebrate Kwanzaa. What's the importance of it?
The importance of Black people celebrating Kwanzaa really is the unity piece and celebrating a set of African values, learning more about who we are, learning more about our history. Also, the Kwanzaa celebration also is there to propel our young people forward, to acknowledge the good things that they have accomplished throughout the year, and to acknowledge the good things they have accomplished throughout the year, as well as to propel them to do more in the coming year. And so there are 7 main symbols that we have on our Kwanzaa table. This here represents the mazao, which is our fruit. We also have the mkeka, which is our mat, that represents the foundation, traditions, and history. Then we have the kinara, which is our candle holder, and the kinara represents our ancestors, African ancestors, our people. And then we have the 7 candles, which we call Mishuma Saba. Those are the 3 red, 1 black, 3 green, black bean in the center, representing people.
Those are in back of us right now, yeah.
Yes,
Sure. Okay.
the black represents people, and it is at the center because people should always be at the center of the thing. And then we have the red candles on the left, and we start with the red candles on the left because the red candles represent struggle, blood of our people, and there's always struggle before progress.
Sure.
And then we have the green on the right, which represents our progress, our land, our growth, what we've produced.
Now, you just weren't thrust into knowledge of Kwanzaa.
Oh, not at all.
How did you come into it?
Now, I'll tell you, I was just having a conversation with my mother yesterday, asking where did she learn about Kwanzaa? Because I recall when I was about 10 years old at my great aunt's home, our whole family was gathered, maybe 40 plus people, and we celebrated Kwanzaa that year. She cannot remember where she learned it. But Kwanzaa, but as far as celebrating Kwanzaa the way we do now, my daughter and myself, we learned really from folks at Progressive Employment Education Center.
Okay.
And that's where we really learned how to celebrate Kwanzaa, and learned about the Nguza Saba, which is really practicing the values of
Okay. There's some events coming up too. I know a couple of them are past, but tell us some of the events coming up.
Yes, so Progressive Employment and Education Center has a couple of events coming up for Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is supposed to be fun, and so we have some fun activities. So we're having a party at Progressive Employment Education Center on December 26th, which is Wednesday, December 26th,
Right.
and that is the first day of Kwanzaa,
Right.
the day we celebrate Umoja, unity. And that is from 6:30 to 9 p.m.
So
There'll be
wait.
games, there'll be activities, there'll be food. We'll do a candle lighting, which is something you do every day of Kwanzaa. You light your candles in your kinara.
Will there be any performing artists?
There's storytelling. There will be some storytelling
Okay.
as well.
Okay. I thought maybe Kujaliwa will do his African boot dance or something. But
I don't believe there'd be boot dancing, but there's always music.
Okay.
So Baba Thadi, Baba
Yeah.
Kujali was
Twin brother, sure.
Yes, so there's always music.
Okay.
And then the next event is 2 days later, Friday, December 28th, which is
Okay.
the day of Ujima, which is collective work and responsibility.
Okay.
And that is our Kwanzaa skate party. And so
Skate party?
Skate party.
Oh, wow, right. Where will
So
that be?
that is at Skate King. And
Skate King
27
is on Natural Bridge, right?
2700 Kinlan. So Natural Bridge and Kinlan.
Natural Bridge and Kinlan, yeah. Okay.
And that event is fun for both events are fun for the family, children, everybody can come out.
If they wanted more information or to become a member or purchase from First Emporium, how can they reach you?
They can reach Progressive at 314-875-9277.
And the website is?
So that is facebook.com, Progressive Emporium and Education Center.
Good. The importance of this to you as a personal person, how important is it to Dionne?
Kwanzaa?
Yeah.
Celebrating Kwanzaa? Celebrating Kwanzaa is incredibly important. It really is a living example of the second principle of the Nguzo Saba, which is Kujichagulia, self-determination. Okay. This is a holiday, a celebration that we created for us, and so we should celebrate it.
This is great. We're at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. I'm Bernie Hayes, and Reverend Larry Rice has been providing these services for nearly 50 years, nearly half a century. And we need your help and support to provide shelter. We need your help and support to provide food. We need your help and support to give clothing. And you may come by 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri, and drop off some clothing. You may drop off some hygienic albums, contents rather. But we need your help and support in other ways too. And you can easily invest in New Life Evangelistic Center to keep this program going through Post Office Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri 63166. That's Post Office Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri 63166. Or online, takes less than 2 minutes at www.New Life Evangelistic Center. That's one word, newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. MasterCard, American Express, Visa, Discover Card. Takes less than 2 minutes to make an investment in New Life Evangelistic Center. This is the season that we will need you to give and also and to receive. Be back with our guests after this.
For the outcast all alone, for the man without a home, for that desperate heart that gives their soul away in the hope they'll be held close, and for the sad neglected wife, for the man life has passed by, for that rejected man who's dying all alone, for the way he lived his life. There is hope. There is hope.
And we'll be returning to our guests after this Black History moment. Today's guest is Alan Leroy Locke, an American philosopher, educator, and writer. After obtaining an undergraduate degree from Harvard University, Locke became the first Rhodes Scholar. He later returned to the U.S. to complete his doctoral studies at Harvard University, where he got a Ph.D. in philosophy in 1918. He later earned the title Father of the Harlem Renaissance, the period of social, cultural, and artistic rebirth that took place in Harlem, New York, throughout the 1920s and mid-30s. Locke continued to mold minds at Howard University as a philosophy department chair, a role he would keep until his retirement in 1953. In fact, there's a city school in New York City named Allen L. Locke Magnet School for Environmental Stewardess, named after the educator. Alain Leroy Locke, Rhodes Scholar, our guest for today.
Now you can take NLEC TV anywhere as you put the NLEC TV app on your iPhone or mobile device. NLEC TV is an innovative TV station that's on the cutting edge of community service. When you tune in to NLEC TV, you'll discover a television station that has been operated by previously homeless individuals who've received broadcast training through New Life Evangelistic Center's unique on-the-job training program. On NLEC TV, you'll discover wholesome family, community, renewable energy, and inspirational programming. Those needing energy assistance, food, clothing, or freedom from the cycle of homelessness will find that plus much more on NLEC TV. Now, you can receive NLEC TV by going to 24.2 on your television set or putting the NLEC TV app on your iPhone or mobile device. For further information, call 314-436-2424 or go to nlecstl.org. That's nlecstl.org.
And welcome back. My guest is Dionne Ferguson, and we're talking about Kwanzaa. And Dionne, you said some people may find it hard to celebrate Kwanzaa. Tell us about that.
I think people are under a misconception that it's difficult to celebrate Kwanzaa. And there are some things that you need for Kwanzaa, for your Kwanzaa table.
Sure.
You need the kinara, the candle holder. You need a mkeka, the mat. We can get our fruit and vegetables and our ear of corn, our muhindi, which represents the children in our families, in our household. Those things you can get from the grocery store. But Progressive Emporium and Education Center has the candles. We have the mkeka. We have handmade kinara. So it's really simple. It's really simple to set up your table at home. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Sometimes we see these elaborate displays and we say, oh my goodness, there's no way I can do that. It doesn't have to be anything hard or challenging. Each day you light the candles, you come together with your family. It is really a good way to bring family and friends together during this time. So it really focuses and helps you focus on bringing more unity into your collective of people. So it's really a very simple holiday.
Okay, so
to
if they need
celebrate.
an instruction, they could come by Progressive Emporium at 1108 North Sarah.
Absolutely.
And
any of us can help you get yourself started.
A lot of folks think it's a hard transition also. They celebrate Christmas to celebrate Kwanzaa. Tell us about that myth.
It's not, that is absolutely a myth.
Yeah.
Kwanzaa is a non-religious holiday.
Right.
And why is it non-religious? Because all black folks aren't Christians.
Right.
All black folks aren't Muslims.
Right.
All black folks aren't Jewish. You know, there's some black folks who don't celebrate or have any kind of religion in their life. So what Kwanzaa attempts to do through the Nguzo Saba is to unify all of us. That means whatever religion you are, you still can celebrate Kwanzaa.
Once again, tell us how to reach you and how we can.
You can reach us at Progressive Emporium and Education Center, and that number is 314-875-9277.
Okay.
And also through the Facebook page, which is Progressive Emporium and Education Center.
Okay. Now, the fruits and so forth, is there a feast each day of Kwanzaa?
Oh, we didn't mention the Karamu.
Yeah.
So there is a feast that is typically celebrated or held on the 31st.
Okay.
So the day of Kuumba, creativity. And that's when families and friends come together, and people can bring can do potluck. People bring a dish, a traditional dish, African American dish, African dish, but everybody comes together with food and juices and just have a good time together.
It is a feast.
It is a feast. It's a Karamu
This is
feast.
really great. This is really, really great. So once again, tell us about what's happening on the 26th and also the 28th.
On the 26th of December, which is the day of Umoja, Progressive Emporium and Education Center will be having a party at Progressive. So come on into 1108 North Sarah Street and party with us. There'll be music, some food, there'll be a traditional candle lighting. We usually have a fun game where we do a trivia game. And so it's a lot of fun. So come on out and celebrate with us. There's a Kwanzaa skate party on the 28th of December, that Friday, which is the day of Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Kids and adults come out and have fun skating, and then we do a candle lighting as well.
This is so great, so wonderful to have you and your daughter here to tell us about Kwanzaa, and I just wish that everything's going to be fine. And I know we'll all be celebrating the Nguzo Saba and keeping these 7 principles with us, hopefully, year-round. I'm Bernie Hayes. I want to say thank you so much for visiting with us today. Continue to support the New Life Evangelistic Center. Have a great day. See you next time.